Hello, everybody, and welcome into the broadcast. I am Samuel Reese coming to you live today across YouTube and Periscope as well as Twitch. And welcome into day 2 of UEFA Euro 2020. In the nightcap, it's Belgium taking on Russia from St. Petersburg, Russia. Let's get to the starting lineups. First, for Belgium, it is Courtois in goal. The back line consisting of Alderweireld, Boyata, and the captain Vertonghen. In the midfield, it's Castagna, Dendoncker, Tielemans, and Torgan Hazard. And then up top, it's the front three trio of Mertens, Lukaku, and Carrasco. Today's match official is Antonio Mateo Lojos of Spain, a very familiar referee. And thank you, Bobby, for joining in. Good afternoon to you, sir. And thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as the respective captains for both teams, Vertonghen and Zuba, meet at midfield for the coin toss. Let's get to the Russia starting lineup. It is Shunin in goal. At the back, Zurkov, Zakia, Semenov, and Fernandez. The two holding mids, Barinov and Ozdoev. Rest of the midfield consisting of Kuzayev, Golovin, and Zobnin. And then up top, it is the captain in Zuba, the star player for this Russia side, who will look to pull off the upset on home soil. Good afternoon to you, Ben. The head coach of Belgium is Roberto Martinez. Leading Russia is Stanislav Cherchesov. Of course, it was an exciting day 2 of the Euros coming into the day. The mood has been dampened a bit after the really traumatic incident that occurred in the Denmark-Finland game earlier today, where Christian Eriksen of Denmark collapsed on the pitch, required CPR. Urgent medical attention was needed, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. We have been receiving good news over the past hour or so that he is in stable condition, Christian Eriksen, and he actually communicated with some of his teammates via phone from the hospital. So that is great news. That Denmark-Finland game was suspended for obvious reasons for a little over an hour and a half. That game actually resumed about 30 minutes ago. So that game is currently in the second half. Meanwhile, we'll get this one underway between Belgium and Russia, but it's great to hear the good news regarding Christian Eriksen. Just a real scary moment. I was witnessing it live. A very scary situation. Yeah, thanks, Karam, for joining the broadcast. Yeah, just a scary situation with Christian Eriksen. I was watching it live, and that's the scariest live sporting incident to happen in a sporting event that I've really ever seen. So scary stuff, but it is good to hear that he is in stable condition and things seem to be in the right direction regarding Christian Eriksen, which is great news. And that Denmark-Finland game actually did resume in Copenhagen. Meanwhile, we're underway here in the nightcap between Belgium and Russia. It's Belgium in their traditional red colors and Russia in all white. Even though it is on Russian soil, Belgium are technically the quote-unquote home team. That's why they get to wear their traditional white colors. There'd be no conflict anyways, but that's why we saw yesterday as well. Turkey were technically the home team, and that's why Italy wore their away kits. This game taking place at St. Petersburg Stadium in St. Petersburg, Russia. It's the way UEFA does the drawing. It's their position in the group from the draw that determines who's the home team for each game, not based on the actual location, as this tournament is a unique one taking place across the continent at 11 different sites. Who do I think is going to win it this year? I think France, Bobby. I think France should win it. I think they're the best team in Europe. But there's always the possibility of a surprise. So, that's why I love this tournament so much. There could very well be some upsets in the making, but I picked France to win it. I expect them to win it. You never know, though, as that pass from Carrasco is sent out of play. It will be a Russia throw-in. Of course, Russia coming off of that 2018 World Cup in which they hosted the tournament. This stadium, of course, in St. Petersburg was one of the main sites for the tournament. If I'm not mistaken, I think was the final in no, the final was in Moscow. I think maybe one of the semifinals was in St. Petersburg. It definitely hosted some big matches in that 2018 World Cup. They are allowing 50% capacity, so a great atmosphere in the northwestern, I should say, part of the country. As we're just 3 minutes in, it's a Belgium team who has a stacked roster all around, but they are aging, and time is running out for this golden generation of talent for the Belgian national team, because with all that talent, they really haven't done much when it comes to big tournaments like the World Cup, like the Euros. So is this the year that they break through? Here's a Russia throw-in. It's quickly taken down the line, tracked down by Zuba. Zuba lays it back, and that pass from Zobnin is off the mark as he was trying to find Zuba once more, who was in an offside position. Roberto Martinez, in my opinion, a fantastic coach leading Belgium. And just a few weeks ago, he was covering the Champions League final for CBS here in the United States. He was part of CBS Sports UEFA Champions League coverage throughout the season here in the U.S. Well, the studios were based in London, but for the U.S. coverage of Champions League, and Roberto Martinez did a great job as an analyst. Now he's into his coaching role. He has quite a number of talents. He can do it all, Roberto Martinez, the Spaniard. Yeah, exactly, Bobby. This Belgian team has a lot of veteran players who are getting up there in age. You know, Belgian fans won't like to hear it, but it's the reality. You know, this team can't stay young forever, and the time is running out. The window is closing, as you say. On the ball here is Boyata, the center back for Belgium tonight. Now it's Vertonghen, the captain of Belgium. Vertonghen, who certainly has to be affected by, I think we're all affected by the Christian Eriksen incident earlier, but Vertonghen in particular, who has the closest connection out of anyone in this game, as Vertonghen was teammates with Eriksen at Tottenham for, I believe, 8 or 9 years. Yeah, absolutely. It does seem like the last opportunity, and yeah, if they click, this team could win it. I'm definitely not ruling it out at all. Here's Yana Carrasco and his pass to Lukaku just off the mark. Romelu Lukaku a bit frustrated. Goal kick to Russia. Oh no, sorry, that was picked up, I should say, by Shunin, the Russia keeper, and he'll throw it out wide. This is now Ozdoev on the ball. A 3 p.m. Eastern time kickoff, 10 p.m. local time. St. Petersburg are an hour ahead of Central European time, 7 hours ahead of my time. So it's a late start in St. Pete. Here is Zirkov. Zirkov up the sideline. Header won by Alderweireld. That's given away cheaply. Zuba is there for Russia. Is there a chance here? Zuba looking to thread it through. The pass blocked off last second. And it will be a corner kick to the Russians, their first of the match. It was Boyata who got in front of the pass from Zuba. Corner kick for Russia. Standing over the set piece is Golovin. Can Russia take advantage of an early set piece? It's Golovin, and he overshoots everyone. As that goes all the way out on the far side for a Belgium throw-in. Stanislav Cherchesov, the Russia head coach, has been at the helm for quite a while now. I don't know how many years to be precise, but he's definitely been there for quite a while now. But obviously, your job is never secure as a manager in football, especially at the international level. Depending on the results of major tournaments like these, as that ball is over the head of the right back for Russia, Mario Fernandez. It will be a Belgium throw-in on the far side. Game 4 of this tournament, game 3 of the day on day 2 of Euro 2020. 3 more matches on the docket tomorrow as this goes out for a Russia throw-in. Yeah, I agree, Ben. I agree. You know, Russia, they're up and down every tournament, I feel like. Sometimes they have a nice tournament and make a pretty deep run and surprise many. Other times, they don't win a game in the group stage and they bow out early in other tournaments. So, yeah, you don't know what you're going to get with Russia. I definitely agree there. They're an unpredictable team for the most part, as Alderweireld will switch the point of attack out to the left wing. It's Torgan Hazard. His brother Eden is out, recovering from an injury, not quite 100% yet. Of course, ever since Eden Hazard made the move to Real Madrid, he's been marred with injury after injury, which is just unfortunate to see. There's a high boot to the head of Tielemans. Foul called against Golovin. Free kick to Belgium. Here's Mertens, great ball in. Lukaku the chance, and he tucks it home. The left-footed finish, and Belgium are on the board early. It's just the start that Belgium are looking for, and it's no surprise that it's Romelu Lukaku coming off of a Serie A title with Inter Milan who scores the opening goal. But this one could, well, he was originally in offside position, but that ball was played by Semenov, it appeared, and therefore that meant Lukaku could play that ball legally, and he made no mistake. The one-time finish, tucking that into the bottom right corner. It's a dream start for Belgium, and certainly VAR will just check to make sure, but it was obvious that Lukaku was in an offside position, but Semenov intentionally tried to play the ball, and it was clearly touched by Semenov as well. The goal stands, as it should, and it's Belgium on the board first in St. Petersburg. Thanks, VMX, for joining over on Twitch. Yeah, he was definitely in an offside position, but the problem for Russia was that Semenov, one of the center backs, intentionally tried to clear that ball, made a mess of it, and so therefore Lukaku was allowed to play that ball legally, and it results in the opening goal. Well, how about that for a start? Just what Belgium wanted. Yeah. If Semenov just let it go through, Lukaku certainly would have been called for offsides. But he tried to play it, and that comes to bite Russia in the back as it's a 1-0 lead for Belgium. Here's Torgan Hazard. Now back with Boyata. Yeah, exactly. He touched it. Yep. Now it's Lukaku. Lukaku clips one in over the top. And Tielemans, was it? No, it was actually Carrasco making the run, but it's dealt with by Shunin, the Russian keeper. And how do Russia bounce back after conceding early? Of course, a majority of the fans in St. Petersburg are cheering for Russia with this game on home soil for the Russians. There are some Belgian fans who made the trip over. Belgium, actually, the team that has to travel the most in these Euros. As Vertonghen is there. Vertonghen going up the sideline, and it's won back by Russia. Okay, all right. Really, you were watching that race and it stopped due to a bad crash. All right. Well, yeah, it's a great start for Belgium already. Just what they were seeking. Here's Zuba for Russia. Heads it back nicely into the path of Golovin. Golovin into the box. Not much support. And it's knocked out of play by Alderweireld, who seems to be in disagreement with the decision. Let's look back at the replay here. Oof. Might have been off of Golovin last. Hard to tell at first glance on the replay. And it's a corner kick for Russia. Who is my national team? Well, the United States, of course, with me being from the U.S., but my dad is also from Portugal, as this is an in-swinging cross headed right to Courtois. Fernandez got there for Russia, and it's the first real good opportunity for the hosts. Good ball in from Golovin, and Fernandez just couldn't pick a corner. But yeah, VMX, I'm a huge United States fan, but I'm also a big Portugal fan. My dad is from Portugal, so I'll be definitely rooting for Portugal this tournament. The 2016 Euros were amazing for me as a Portugal fan. Unforgettable, really. And hopefully we can go back to back. Yeah, exactly, Karam. No doubt I'll be rooting for Portugal. Yep. Anytime, it's the Euros, Portugal are my team. My dad's from Portugal, so I'm a big U.S. and Portugal fan. Here is Castagna over to take the Belgium throw-in. 1-0 to the favorites in this one. Denmark and Finland are the other two teams in Group B. As I mentioned, that game is wrapping up momentarily in the late stages of the second half right now, I believe. I'll definitely give an update on that match once we reach halftime in this one. Russia in possession in the middle of the pitch. Driving forward now is Zobnin. Nice pass up the line. Here comes the cross. Zuba takes it down, lays it back. Here's a strike, but well wide of the goal in the end. It was Ozdoev with the opportunity for Russia. This was a real nice touch by Zuba to set up Ozdoev, but in the end got it all wrong on the strike. But it's been better from Russia these last couple of minutes. Had that opportunity from the corner kick and then that half chance right there. As Russia find themselves down early. Belgium, a little bit of a mess at the back, and now they turn it over. Russia will switch the point of attack to the left side with Zurkov. Zurkov, the left back. Now over to Zhikia. Back it goes to Shunin. Header won by Zuba. Zuba plays it ahead for Golovin. Golovin to the end line. Cross sent in. Cleared away by Belgium. But Russia back in possession. Down the left side, it's Kuzayev. Now it's Ozdoev. Going cross field and unable to save it was Torgan Hazard. Throw into Russia. Some attacking play from Russia here. And what's been a decent response after the early goal conceded in the 10th minute. Romelu Lukaku, who will definitely be in the running for the golden boot this tournament, you have to think. Scoring early. Yeah, Russia have responded well. I agree. Can they get an equalizer? That's deflected out for another Russia throw-in. Fernandez will take it. Oh, and that's a poor pass. Romelu Lukaku is there to pounce. Lukaku the steal, and now he's going to take it all the way in himself. Lukaku the chance, but a last-ditch defensive effort by Zakia. Now it's cut back, and the one-time strike is sent over the bar. The opportunity came for Dendoncker. While Russia really hurt themselves with a bad giveaway, but it was a great recovery by Zakia to slide in and prevent Lukaku from getting a shot away. Lukaku kept with it, though. Set up Dendoncker right up the middle at the edge of the 18-yard box, but Dendoncker on the one-time shot got it all wrong, sending it high over the bar. Russia fortunate that no damage was done off that giveaway. Now it's back at the other end with Thibaut Courtois. Courtois for Real Madrid, of course. His pass goes out of play. Russia looking to work quickly. Here's Boyata back in possession. Now back to Courtois, who sends it well beyond midfield. This ball chipped forward, one back by the Russians. On the far side of the pitch, it's Mario Fernandez. Aerial battle, won by Belgium. Boyata back to Courtois. Nice first touch from the Belgian keeper. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Continued coverage of UEFA Euro 2020 after Italy beat Turkey 3-0 in an impressive opening night performance. It's day 2 of the tournament. Obviously, unfortunately, dampened by the scary incident involving Christian Eriksen earlier today. But hopefully the day can end off on a good note. We're hearing good news on Eriksen, that he is in a stable condition, was speaking in the hospital. And hopefully we can get a good game here between Belgium and Russia to cap off what was a sad day at one point. But good news is coming regarding Christian Eriksen, which is great to hear. This is a long ball sent forward by Shunin. Settled by Boyata. 20 minutes played in St. Petersburg. 1-0 Belgium lead. Here's Alderweireld. What's going on, Rude Boy TV? Thanks for stopping by. Much appreciated, man. Here's Tielemans for Dries Mertens. Back to Tielemans. His ball sent into the box. Handled by Russia. Now it's the captain for Belgium and Jan Vertonghen, who will send it back to Thibaut Courtois. Boyata. Now Alderweireld. Castagna. Dries Mertens into the feet of Romelu Lukaku. Double team comes. Lukaku dancing on the ball. Scissors move. Squares it. And the ensuing pass from Carrasco broken up, but Belgium keep with it. Down the left side, it's Carrasco once more. Now a direct ball into the box. Tight angle shot. And it's blocked off. Shunin made the save to deny Torgan Hazard. A real good look for a second goal by Belgium. And now dragged down is Kuzayev. Foul against Castagna. Free kick to the Russians. It's a really good save by Shunin. Closing down the angle on Hazard. Making his frame as big as possible. And denying a second goal for Belgium. We're midway through the first half. Romelu Lukaku's early goal has Belgium on top. Russia looking for a response. Yeah, I know, Ben. Absolutely. Yeah, it's just scary stuff. It doesn't happen often, obviously, but when it does, it's just, yeah, you put things in perspective, really. The game being played and sports becomes secondary at that point. No doubt about it. Here is Zirkov. Zirkov crossing, headed away, and now it's settled by Lukaku. Fantastic ball out wide, but it was miscontrolled by Tielemans. Was that a foul? No, a clean win by Mertens, according to a referee. And now it's Belgium on the attack. Carrasco to the byline. Knocked away by Mario Fernandes. It will be a corner kick for Belgium. The corner kick on the far side. As Russia go with man marking here. Good ball in. Headed clear by Russia. And now they can catch Belgium on the counter. An acrobatic effort forward and a huge collision of heads. Medical attention required rather urgently here. That was a head-on collision with both players charging in with a quick pace as well. This was a big collision between Castagna and Kuzayev. And obviously, head injuries need to be taken seriously. Yes, it has been an open game so far, Ben. It's been a very open game. Yeah, absolutely. Entertaining for the neutral thus far. It was Romelu Lukaku's 10th minute goal that put Belgium on the board. Russia now seeking an equalizer. There were shouts for an offside from Russia, but the ball was played and touched by Semenov. That meant that the touch from Lukaku was legal. The goal stood. And an animated Roberto Martinez on the sideline looked quite pleased for obvious reasons. Thierry Henry as well, restored as the Belgium assistant coach, giving Lukaku instructions moments ago. Thierry Henry, who of course coached here in MLS for the Montreal Impact, but after the pandemic decided to step down from those duties and head back to Europe. And now once again, the assistant for Belgium with Roberto Martinez in charge as the head coach. And good news here is Castagna is up to his feet. Meanwhile, Kuzayev still down for Russia as the coach Stanislav Cherchesov has substitutes warming up just in case. Now Kuzayev is up to his feet, has his head wrapped up, perhaps drawing a little bit of blood as Castagna applies an ice pack. And so obviously both players will have to be evaluated properly and precisely to determine whether they can continue or not. And it looks like Castagna will actually be forced to come off. So it'll be Meunier replacing Castagna here. So Roberto Martinez forced to make an early change. It's Meunier into the match after Castagna was the victim of a brutal head collision with Kuzayev. Kuzayev continues to have his head wrapped, and he'll be further evaluated. We'll see what Kuzayev's status is in a moment's time. But for now, Russia will continue down a man. Neither Kuzayev will be cleared to return, or Cherchesov will be forced to make his first substitution. Down the right wing, this is Meunier. Dendoncker, Vertonghen, and it looks like over on this near sideline that the athletic trainers have ruled that it will not be safe for Kuzayev to continue. I will confirm that in a moment, but it looks like Russia will be forced to make a change as well. Meunier gets the return pass from Alderweireld. Now it's turned over. Russia in their own end will work it out of the back. 28 minutes played, 1-0 Belgium. Romelu Lukaku scoring the opening goal. Belgium, the landslide favorite in Group B. But you never know what can happen. Obviously, the first game in the group stage just so crucial in getting off to a good start. And if you can get those 3 points in the opening game, you're setting yourself up real nicely going forward in the group stages. Here is Boyata. Alderweireld from distance. Did it take a slight deflection here? No, straight over the bar. An ambitious effort, but Alderweireld not too far off. And yes, I can confirm Russia forced to make a substitution. So Daler Kuzayev is off, and it's Denis Cheryshev, a veteran for this Russia team, coming into the match. Cheryshev, I believe, was the leading goal scorer for Russia in that 2018 World Cup. He scored 5 goals in that World Cup, including a stunner in the quarterfinals against Croatia, a game in which Russia lost and were eliminated ultimately. And elsewhere in Group B, that Denmark-Finland game has concluded, and it's Finland with an upset victory, 1-0 over Denmark in Copenhagen. Obviously, just real tough circumstances for everyone involved, particularly Denmark, after the scary incident regarding Christian Eriksen. But it is Finland who get the victory and earn 3 points to kick off their first ever major tournament. What a win for Finland against their fellow Nordic rivals. A reminder that UEFA Euro 2020 continues tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. It'll be a much anticipated Group C matchup when England faces Croatia from Wembley. Meanwhile, here in St. Petersburg, we're at the midway point. Belgium leading 1-0. Lukaku sends it ahead, and quite a vicious challenge there from Barinov, taking out Dries Mertens. Free kick to Belgium. And it looks like Barinov is also injured here. Oh, yeah, he took a cleat to the midsection from Dries Mertens. That was perhaps sneaky dirty from Dries Mertens. He already knew he was fouled. He knew he got the call, and then on his fall, just kind of brought that right foot out to make contact with what appeared to be the thigh, perhaps, of Barinov. Barinov appears to be okay, but, I mean, by the looks of the replay, I could be wrong, but it did seem to be a bit malicious from Mertens. As the camera pans to the bench of Russia, disappointed look, understandably so, on the face of Kuzayev, who is unable to continue, but obviously for the safety of the player, probably the right decision as he picked up that head injury. By the way, on that last play, there was no foul, actually. Referee let play continue as Courtois clears it out. Throw in for Russia. Inside the final quarter hour of the first half, Lukaku's 10th minute goal has the Belgians on top. The winner, if there is a winner of tonight's game, will join Finland atop the group. So Group B already getting off to an interesting start with Finland earning the 3 points against Denmark with a 1-0 victory. And since these games interlapped, I did not see that Finland goal, but I'm sure I'll be seeing the highlights at halftime of this one. It looks like Finland in that game scored, let's see, looking at the recap of this match, Finland scored in the 59th minute. So, oh wow, and the shots were 22-1 Denmark. Wow, I'll be talking about that game for sure at the half. What an upset victory that is for Finland. As I mentioned, their first ever major tournament. I believe it was 30 failed qualifying campaigns between World Cups and Euros. They finally qualified for the Euros, and they get the win in their first game. Dangerous cross in, rebound loose, and it's put away by none other than Meunier, the substitute who replaced the injured Castagna, finishes on the rebound. It's 2-0 Belgium, and it's all going Belgium's way early on Russian soil. Well, it was really a tap-in ultimately for Meunier, but he was there at the right place at the right time. A dangerous in-swinging cross, and it was spilled by Shunin, and there to clean up the rebound was Meunier, the left-footed finish, tucking it into the near post. 2-0, Belgium lead, a 33rd minute goal from the substitute. Has really put Belgium in a very, very, very advantageous position. 2-0. It's all going Belgium's way so far in the first half. That's the 8th goal for Thomas Meunier in 48 international appearances. And now Russia really have to go for it if they want anything from this match. Mario Fernandes. And that pass just unable to connect as Fernandes was seeking out a run. 35th minute now. And Russia with an uphill battle in front of them. Thanks everyone for being a part of the broadcast. Day 2 of UEFA Euro 2020. Game number 4 of the tournament in the early stages of the group stage. Match day 1 will run through Tuesday, and then match day 2 of the group stages will get underway on Wednesday. This is tracked down by Meunier. Belgium once again on the attack. The cross dealt with and now cleared away by Russia. Boyata got a leg in there. Russia hold on to possession. It's a poor pass off the mark. Seen a little bit of that from Russia. Zurkov passed that one out of bounds. Yeah, it looked like he just tripped up. Yeah, lost his footing. Clutching that right leg of his. Perhaps his right knee. As he requires medical attention. It's a very silent St. Petersburg for the most part, as the home crowd is not pleased with the start to this one. Not quite what the Russians were looking for. Of course, this European Championship, a unique tournament in the sense that there are 11 host cities across the continent, stretching from London out east to Baku. London out west to Baku out east. The Wales-Switzerland game this morning was in Baku, Azerbaijan. We'll have England-Croatia tomorrow in London. So quite literally, games taking place across the entire European continent this tournament. Foul called against Russia here, against Belgium here. It's a free kick in a very dangerous position. Can Russia capitalize off a set piece? You get the sense that if they are to score, it very well may come from a set piece, and that might be their best opportunity. Standing over the free kick is Golovin. Golovin delivers. Floated ball in. Zuba to the back post, but nobody there. And intelligently, Mertens will let it go over the end line for a Belgian goal kick. The cross sent into the back post. Zuba heading it right across the 6-yard box. But no one on the end of it for Russia. A real good look for the hosts, but they still find themselves down 2-0. Now Belgium will move it across the back line. Boyata finding Alderweireld. Now it's Mounier, who has a goal off the bench. He replaced the injured Castagna, who suffered a head injury in a nasty collision with Kuzayev, who also had to come off. Final minutes of the opening half of play. Now it's Alderweireld. Mertens looking for the through ball to Mounier. Blocked off, and now it comes back to Alderweireld. Den Donker out wide. Nice bit of skill from Yannick Carrasco. Carrasco switching field. It's Mertens. Back to Mounier. Yuri Tielemans has his pass nearly intercepted. Now contested for. Belgium will hold on. It's Boyata. He'll get the return pass from Alderweireld. Belgium very patient at the moment in possession with a 2-0 advantage. Alderweireld, direct ball forward, and well off his line was Shunin, and it's turned over by Russia. No penalty here, as it appeared it was Torgan Hazard who went down. Scratch that, it was actually Thomas Mounier. And now driving forward was Yannick Carrasco, cleared out by Mario Fernandez. Well, the Russian goalkeeper in Shunin, he came well off his line to the edge of the 18-yard box. A very risky decision to make. But in the end, no damage done by Belgium. As we enter the final 5 minutes of the first half, and before play resumes, it does appear as though a penalty check will take place. Mounier went down in the box. And you can certainly see why this is being checked. But in the end, I don't think this can be given. You know, Zhirkov, in my opinion, didn't stick his leg out. Mounier essentially went into the leg of Zhirkov. And so the penalty check is over. And correctly, in my opinion, the non-call, I should say, stands. No penalty on the play. Belgium now in the attacking third off the throw-in. Here's Boyata. Lukaku's 10th minute goal and then Mounier's 34th minute goal has the Belgians up 2-0. Just the start to this tournament they were seeking. Edge of the box, it's Lukaku. Lukaku holds. Now it's Carrasco. Into Lukaku. Double team emerges. Russia with the steal. But recovering nicely was Torgan Hazard. And Belgium are back with it. Appears as though Russia are set to make another substitution. I'm not sure if that's due to an injury. I would have to think so because we are just minutes away from the end of the first half. We'll keep an eye on that. But for now, it's Belgium with that continuous possession. Right as I say that, it's turned over by Alderweireld. Direct ball through the middle is cut out by Belgium, but unable to save that one from going out of play was Dries Mertens. And now here will come that Russia substitution I was alluding to. And yeah, I have to think it's due to injury. Zhirkov, as I mentioned, injured his knee on that attempted clearance moments ago. And so he's unable to continue. It seems to be a serious injury. And so Russia have now been forced to make 2 changes in this first half due to injury. Not the ideal scenario for Stanislav Cherchesev. By the way, replacing Zhirkov was number 4, Karavayev. Here is Carrasco now, edge of the box, taken away by Russia. A reminder that Euro 2020 continues tomorrow in the middle game of the day at noon Eastern time. It'll be Austria taking on North Macedonia. Excuse me, North Macedonia making their first ever major tournament, just like Finland. Of course, led by the icon and legend Pandev, who's made quite the career in Serie A with a number of teams. And we'll see if North Macedonia can put up any type of fight in what's definitely a weaker group compared to others. The Netherlands and Ukraine, the other 2 teams. Of course, the Netherlands and Ukraine, you have to think, are the favorites to go through as the top 2 teams. But what makes each group interesting to the very last match day is that there are 4 third-place finishers that go through. So even if you're at 0 points through the first 2 matches, there's still hope heading into that final group stage game. Header won by Meunier. Now it's lost by Mertens. Back out to midfield. Hazard's there. He'll go back to Thibaut Courtois. The 45th minute is reached, and we'll have 4 minutes added on to the end of the first half, in large part due to that head injury that garnered a bit of a delay, the head injury between Castagna and Kuzayev. So 4 minutes tacked on. Is there another goal for Belgium before the break? Here's De Bruyne. Sorry. There was Meunier with the run, trying to get on the end of that through ball. I don't think I mentioned actually at the top of the broadcast, Kevin De Bruyne is out tonight, recovering from that injury he suffered in the UEFA Champions League final against Chelsea. He was involved in a collision with Antonio Rudiger, had, I believe, some orbital fractures, but it is looking like he is on the verge of a return to action. Obviously, the Champions League final was just 2 weeks ago today. So a quick recovery for Kevin De Bruyne necessary, obviously a crucial part of this Belgian team. But Belgium haven't really needed him tonight, have they? They're in cruise control, up 2-0. Yeah, that's a fair point, Ben. Certainly, it's going to be a monstrous task to come back in this one for Russia. Obviously, you still want to give your best effort for the full 90 minutes, but certainly they'll have an eye out for those next 2 matches against Denmark and Finland, which will definitely be winnable games for Russia. We're about midway through first half stoppage time, 47th minute now, and Carrasco went down, back up, down, and up again. Advantage played, still going is Yannick Carrasco. Carrasco with a shot, and it's just over the bar. Relentless from Yannick Carrasco. Just continuing on, and in the end, nearly able to score. This one put just over the crossbar. Goal kick to Russia. Well, that would have been a spectacular individual effort had he found the back of the net. And we'll see if that's the last chance of this first half with about 80 seconds left. Here's Semenov. Direct ball forward. And is this onside? Yes, it is. Down the right wing, it's Fernandez. Crossed in. And now on the deflected clearance, it is off of Russia for a Belgium throw-in. Under a minute left in the opening half of play. This is thrown into Lukaku. Lukaku switches the point of attack, finding Meunier. Under 30 seconds left in the half. Boyata ahead for Tielemans. Now back on the left wing, it's Torgan Hazard. And Belgium will be content to just keep possession. And halftime arrives. That's the end of the opening 45 minutes. Belgium will be pleased with the first half performance, I should say. 2 goals. First one from Lukaku, second from Meunier. Disappointing first half from Russia in front of their home fans. But Belgium take care of the first 45 minutes just as they please. Still 45 minutes to go, but it's the favorites in Belgium with the big lead, 2-0 up over Russia at the break. Coming up after a quick timeout, I'll be back for the halftime report. Stay tuned for that. It's UEFA Euro 2020 on a beautiful night from northwest Russia in St. Petersburg. I'll be back, the hosts trailing by 2, Belgium with just the start of this tournament they were looking for. I'll be back with a halftime report shortly. Welcome into the halftime report. Belgium 2, Russia 0. Romelu Lukaku set the tone early with a 10th minute goal. Left-footed finish. Slotted into the bottom right corner. And Belgium would add on to the lead with a Thomas Meunier goal to make it 2-0. Meanwhile, earlier in the day, of course, there was a scary, scary incident when Christian Eriksen of Denmark collapsed on the field, required CPR, but there is good news. He is in a stable condition in the hospital. That game was reasonably suspended for about 90 minutes or so, a little more than that. They eventually resumed the match. The game was paused in the 43rd minute. They eventually resumed the match, and it was actually Finland coming out on top 1-0. But obviously the scoreline not really mattering too much in the overall scheme of things, as our priorities are straightened out, and the Danish Football Federation gave a Christian Eriksen update saying Christian Eriksen is awake and his condition remains stable. He remains hospitalized at Rigshospitalet for further examinations. And this was earlier when they said the match against Finland will be played tonight. This happens after the players have been confirmed that Christian is okay. The match resumes at 20:30 local time, which is 8:30 local time, 2:30 Eastern. So the match did resume, and it was Finland getting the victory, a goal in the 59th minute, which was some questionable goalkeeping from Peter Schmeichel. But Finland would get the goal about 15 minutes into the second half, and then Denmark would have a penalty shout. A penalty would actually be awarded in the 73rd minute as Yusuf Poulsen was taken down for Denmark. And then from the spot kick, a save would be made, a huge save, as Finland, in their first ever major competition, get a win in their opening match, 1-0, upsetting Denmark. Wow, what a huge victory for Finland. What's going on? Roni, thanks for tuning in. Pakistan will definitely win the Heroes. You already know, man. Yeah, obviously there were, a lot of headlines regarding that Christian Eriksen incident. Just a scary situation. I was watching it live. You hate to see something like that happen, and it was definitely interesting to see that, according to UEFA and according to Denmark, in all fairness, the players did agree, to continue the match tonight, but warming up, when the Denmark team was warming up in preparation to resume that match, you could see some of the players still were extremely emotional, as expected, tearing up. You just have to think this Denmark team was, completely not paying attention to the task at hand. I mean, their minds, couldn't have been 100% focused on the resumption of that match. And, ultimately they suffer the defeat. So it is what it is. But, I was definitely a bit surprised to see that the match resumed today rather than, tomorrow, say. You got a ticket for the Portugal-France match? Really? Wow, man. You are lucky. I would do anything to go to the Portugal-France match. That's awesome, man. Well, you enjoy, for sure. My dad's from Portugal, so I'm a huge Portugal fan. Definitely looking forward to that Portugal-France game next weekend. That's awesome that you're going to be there. I can't even remember what city it's in. I can't remember off the top of my head, but enjoy the trip and safe travels to you, and have a great experience of what should be a great game in the Euros. I'll be back after a quick break as the halftime report will continue, and I will recap the first half in this game between Belgium and Russia. 2-0 Belgium at the interval. Oh, it's in Budapest. Okay. So in Hungary. Got it. Awesome, man. Well, you enjoy. I'll be back after this quick break as the halftime report will continue after this. Welcome back into the halftime report, everybody. 2-0 Belgium lead. Lukaku, the opening goal, and then Meunier off the bench with the second for Belgium. And yeah, absolutely, Ben. Portugal-France will be a great game. You think the second and third best teams in the tournament. I see what you're doing, Ben. I know exactly who you have at number one. But yeah, no, two of the top teams in the tournament, no doubt. I'll leave their placement up for debate. But in this game, it is 2-0 Belgium on top. And quite frankly, I was a bit disappointed with Russia's first half display overall. We'll see if they can put up any type of fight in the second half, as Belgium are in control of this one. 2-0 at the break. Second half is next from St. Petersburg. Stay tuned. Welcome back in. We're ready to kick off the second half. Belgium with a 2-goal advantage over Russia. 45 minutes still to play in the first game of the tournament for both of these sides in Group B from St. Petersburg. Oh, really, Ben? You saw a fantastic Russian team, Dynamo Tbilisi, when you were a kid, and they destroyed a very good West Ham team in the Cup Winners' Cup. Wow. How about that? Very interesting indeed, as Russia will make a halftime change. Their third substitution of the match already. It will be Diviv coming on. And we're underway in the second half of action. We'll see what the nightcap on a triple header day of European Championship action has in store. As I mentioned, it was Diviv coming on, and I believe replacing, let me check that. And an early chance for Russia as that's sent over the bar by Zobnin. But that's a positive start for the home side. And it was Zurkov. No, Zurkov came out earlier. Hold on, I'll get the word on the on who came off for Russia. Didn't quite catch it, but it was Deviv coming in. This game at St. Petersburg Stadium in St. Petersburg, Russia. 2-0 Belgium on top. Russia in the second half attacking from left to right. Belgium from right to left. Okay, Deviv came on for Barinov. That's what the change was. Fernandez will have a throw in for Russia. The stadium in St. Petersburg, half full. Of course, we can't have a full capacity crowd quite yet due to COVID-19, but we're getting there. Here in the United States, many stadiums are back to full capacity now. In fact, as Boyata wins the ball for Belgium, and now it's Dries Mertens tripped up, free kick to Belgium as Golovin committed the foul. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. That's when West Ham had a solid team. But yeah, if West Ham got destroyed by this Russian team, Dinamo Tbilisi, that's definitely saying something. Yeah. Here is the captain Jan Vertonghen, who now plays his club football in Portugal for Benfica. Meunier going back to the keeper and Thibaut Courtois. Early goings of the second half. Lukaku with the leaping header, but it's back in the possession of Russia. This sent back to Anton Shunin, the Russian keeper. And now sent up the line by Zhakia. Throw awarded to the Russians. This ball won by Russia. That pass controlled nicely by Fernandez. Russia will switch the point of attack. And a great save by Zhakia. Zhakia, ball over the top towards Zuba, but it's won by Vertonghen. That's given away, however, by Belgium. Now it's taken towards the corner flag by Fernandez. It was Torgan Hazard with the giveaway. Zuba to the edge of the box. Boyata pokes it away, but Russia keep the ball. Here is a floated ball in by Ozdoyev. An affirmative punch away by Courtois. And it looks like the flag has gone up as offside was called anyways. Am I doing the tournament winners game tomorrow? You're playing Croatia. Yeah, I know you guys are playing Croatia. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do that, Ben. First of all, it's at 9 a.m. my time, and I don't know. Doing a broadcast that early is, I don't know if I'd be at my best performance, and I have to leave to go somewhere at like 10:30 anyway, so I wouldn't even be able to do the full game. It should be a great game, England Croatia. I wish it was later in the afternoon, my time. I wish it was at like at 3 p.m. like this game right here. But unfortunately, I won't be able to do that game. Sorry, Ben. But I'll definitely be doing probably the rest of England's games, to be honest. I mean, I can't promise that, but I'll be doing a lot of England games. That's for sure. I'm just unable to do tomorrow's, unfortunately. as that goes back to the Belgian keeper and the Russian keeper and Anton Shunin. Belgium leading by 2. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to do a broadcast tomorrow because I'll be gone for later part of the morning and then most of the afternoon. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to do any of the Euro games tomorrow. But I should be back Monday. I believe it's Spain, Sweden facing off. So try to do as many games as I can. This is back with Shunin. He goes up the middle of the pitch. And now it's Zobnin. Zobnin out wide. Now it's Karavayev. Karavayev crosses. No one making the back post run for Russia. And it'll be a goal kick to Belgium. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in this afternoon or this evening, depending on where you're tuning in from. Jan Vertonghen as his pass go right to Russia's Andrei Semenov. One back by the Belgians. This is Yannick Carrasco, who nearly had a goal in the first half. Now it's Torgan Hazard. He goes down, lays it off to Carrasco. Dangerous ball to the edge of the 6. But it's out of the reach of Lukaku. In the end, goal kick to Russia. Hazard just laid that ball off to Carrasco before colliding into Mario Fernandes. I know, Ben. That's why England have a really good team, Ben, but I can't pick them to win the tournament. They choke every time. I can't imagine how it is to be an English supporter because that team disappoints you year after year, don't they? I mean, I felt similar to Portugal for a long time because obviously the 2016 Euros were the first ever major tournament they won. I was like, Portugal are never going to win a major tournament, and now they do. This falls nicely for Zuba, but a foul called anyways. The shot saved nonetheless by Courtois, as there was contact on Dendoncker from Cheryshev. Denis Cheryshev just following through on Dendoncker unintentionally, but a foul nonetheless. Correct decision by the official. Here now is Thibaut Courtois. Courtois out to midfield. Now it's intercepted by Russia in the middle. Can Russia get a goal back? Here's a strike, blocked, and off a couple of bounces. Courtois is there to claim. It was Golovin who had the opportunity. Right-footed strike and a real nice bit of defending from Jan Vertonghen. And here is the captain, Vertonghen, ahead for Carrasco. Belgium on the attack. Cut back to Lukaku. His left-footed effort is blocked by Russia. And now the Russians looking to counter. This game really opening up in the second half. 55 minutes played, 2-0 Belgium lead. Oh, I bet, Ben. If England won the Euros, I'm sure it would be crazy in the streets of England for a couple weeks anyways. Yeah, at least a month. And speaking of that, a reminder that UEFA Euro 2020 action continues tomorrow. The opener tomorrow will be England against Croatia, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Now it's Russia back in possession, still seeking their first goal. This is on the left wing with Karavayev, who happened to be in an offside position. Free kick to Belgium. A lot of disappointed Russian fans in attendance. The total attempts, 8 for Belgium. Attempts on target, 3-1 in favor of Belgium. It's not like Russia have been completely outplayed, but Belgium have been the superior side from the start. With the switch here is Tielemans. What a gorgeous ball to the right side with Meunier. Meunier, who scored the second of Belgium's 2 goals tonight. And now it's Vertonghen finding Carrasco scratched that. Throw-in awarded to Belgium now. Taken by Torgan Hazard. Here's a through ball. Lukaku making the run, but that pass sealed off by Russia. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit too early to do that, Ben. You know, it's just the 57th minute, still just a 2-goal lead. If Belgium get a third goal, for sure, I think they should take him off. And once we get to like the 70th minute, 75th minute, even if the score is 2-0, I think that would be a point in the match where it would be okay to take him off. But I definitely agree with taking him off to save and protect him for, you know, more important matches later on in the tournament. But for now, I would keep him in just in case. And here comes Russia on the attack. This ball laid back to Golovin. Golovin finds Fernandez. Now edge of the box. Sent back for Daviv. Here comes the cross. In-swinging delivery from Golovin. Back out it comes. Russia not done. Down the line. Here's the cross to the near post, but not what Zobnin was looking for. Into the side netting. Did it take a slight deflection? It may have, actually. And yes, it did. So it will be a corner kick. Meunier got a slight touch. Corner kick to Russia. And the home fans starting to make some noise. It's an opportunity to cut the Belgian lead in half. Third corner of the match for Russia. Can they execute from the set piece as the hour mark approaches? And the cross is sent away by Tielemans. Will be a Russia throw-in now. About an hour played, half an hour to go. This is back with Shunin. Long ball forward, settled nicely by Zuba, the captain. But a poor giveaway. And now Belgium looking to counter. On the left wing, this is Yannick Carrasco. Carrasco hits the brakes. Back it goes to Hazard. Belgium content in possession. Here's Tielemans. Back to Hazard. Tielemans once more. Into the middle of the pitch. Russia fighting to win it back. Now that's passed out of play by Carrasco. "60 minutes played, 30 to go. It's 2-0, Belgium on top. That went off the head of Tielemans, now settled by Lukaku. Lukaku gets it back, looking to turn, but through traffic couldn't hold on. Now it's with Jan Vertonghen. Torgan Hazard into the middle with Tielemans. On the right wing, Dries Mertens, the Napoli man, clips one forward, headed out of play over the end line by Magomed Ajdoyev. Corner to Belgium. Just their second corner of the night. And so it'll be an outswinging delivery. Punched away by Shunin. And last touch by Golovin for a Belgium throw-in. That's an interesting question, Ben. How do I think the U.S. would do against these two? Well, I think the U.S. could. I think they could beat Russia. I really do. I haven't been impressed really with Russia in this match. Belgium, I think they lose to. Of course, the U.S. had that epic World Cup. What was it? Quarterfinal match. Was it the round of 16 match? I believe with Belgium in 2014 in the World Cup in Brazil, where Belgium won, I believe, 2-1 in extra time. So, and that was one of, that was a very, very, very good game. But Belgium, I think they'd beat the U.S. by, if the U.S. played their best game, I think it could be a 1-goal game in favor of Belgium. But probably a 2-goal win for Belgium, I'd say, to be honest. Depending on how each team, showed up on the day. If they met. I mean, if Belgium play how they did today, I think the U.S. could make it a relatively competitive game. Belgium would still probably win by a goal, I'd say. As Russia will make another change, it'll be Cheryshev coming off. So Cheryshev replaced Kuzayev earlier, but he comes off, and it'll be Miranchuk coming onto the pitch. So that's interesting. Cheryshev was subbed on in the first half for the injured Kuzayev, and now subbed off for Miranchuk. And I believe Zobnin also came off. You're Belgium in the box. Russia will send it away. And now Zuba, pushed from behind, draws the foul against Toby Alderweireld. So a free kick on the way. And I'll get who replaced Zobnin in a moment. I believe. Well, let me check just to confirm. All right, Zobnin was replaced by Mukin. So it was Maxim Mukin in for Zobnin. So I can confirm that. So Russia have now made all 5 changes, if I'm not mistaken. Well, technically, they have used 5 substitutions, but I believe the concussion, obviously the first substitution was due to a possible concussion, a head injury anyways, to Kuzayev, and I believe that new rule is in effect where you can make 2 substitutions for head injuries that won't count against, the 5 substitutions you're allowed to make. So I don't believe that counts. So perhaps Russia are allowed to make one more change. I'm not definite on that, but a little shove there from Zuba, perhaps a display of frustration as a free kick is awarded to Belgium. Thanks, everyone, for being a part of the broadcast. 65 minutes played. It's 2-0 Belgium on top of Russia. It was 2 first-half goals from Belgium that have put them up by 2. No goals yet in the second half. As Belgium continue to control the match, Russia still trying to get on the board. UEFA Euro 2020 continues tomorrow with a great match to kick off the day at 9 a.m. Eastern Time when England faces Croatia. Nice way to get your Sunday started here on the east coast of the U.S. anyways. Well, in the entire U.S., but an afternoon start in Europe to get the triple header of action tomorrow in the Euros underway. As that's off of Lukaku for a Russia throw-in right around midfield. I know, Ben. I know. I'd love to see Lukaku back at Chelsea. I really would. I've always liked him, Romelu Lukaku. From back at his Everton days. Chelsea didn't really give him a chance, quite frankly. Chelsea didn't give Lukaku, De Bruyne, or Salah, a real opportunity. They were quick to let all three players leave. But Lukaku's been brilliant for Inter, just fantastic. And even though things didn't quite work out for him at Man United, I would take him any day of the week, and he's proven that he can be a top striker in the world based on the way he's played with Inter. And I think he would fit into Chelsea nicely. But it's been sounding recently like he's going to stay at Inter, even though he might be disappointed that Antonio Conte left. But Chelsea only you can only imagine if they had kept Lukaku, De Bruyne, and Salah. That would have been quite something, quite a team. 3 quarters through the match, Belgium up by 2. They've been in firm control throughout, really. And look to secure the 3 points in the final quarter of the match. Yes, exactly. That's a great comparison. Yeah. Russia now attacking down the left side, but that ball over the top will not find the run of Karavayev. I should say Courtois is there. Courtois really not forced to make a big save yet tonight. Here come Belgium now. This ball into the path of Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku, square ball, given away as the turnover was committed by Dries Mertens. But Alderweireld will shield that one. Last off of Miranchuk. Throw into Belgium. Here's Torgan Hazard. Boyata now. Back for Courtois. Now Jan Vertonghen. Lukaku couldn't settle. This is Mukin. And offside with Zuba. That's really the type of night it's been for Russia. They've been caught offsides on numerous occasions. And with 20 minutes to play, it's not looking bright for Russia in front of their home fans. Looks like Roberto Martinez is set to make a substitution. And that is Eden Hazard. So he wasn't 100% fit to start, but it was never stated that he wouldn't make an appearance, and we could see him enter for the final 20 or so minutes. And it looks like he's set to come on right now. So at the next stoppage, Eden Hazard will enter for Belgium. Toby Alderweireld on the ball. Across the back line for Vertonghen. Looked like he intentionally played out of bounds. Not sure for what reason. And now that Belgium substitution will be made. Oh, it's because of an injury. There was an injured Belgian on the play, and that's why he was sent out of bounds by Vertonghen. Dries Mertens will be the one coming out. And it is Vertonghen himself who's injured, so that's why he played it out. He himself was injured and requires medical attention here. Yeah, it looks like it was for a little bump from Zuba a couple minutes ago. So Mertens is done. Eden Hazard is in alongside his brother now, Torgan. And I'm not sure if Vertonghen will be able to continue. All right, Ben, sounds great, man. Yeah, no, thank you for contributing in the chat and making the broadcast more entertaining than it would be without some banter. Yeah, it's been fun. Thank you so much for tuning in, Ben. You've got to take the dogs out for your last walk. You do that, man. Cheers. Have a wonderful night. And hey, I'm not going to say good luck to England, but hey, we'll see. We'll see how your guys do tomorrow. I can never wish luck to England. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it, but have a great rest of your evening. And we'll see how you guys do against Croatia tomorrow. 73rd minute now. It's Russia with the ball. Direct pass settled by the feet of Courtois. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Sorry, Ben. I can't bring myself to wish England luck. But hey, listen, I have you guys. I picked my. I selected all the of. I made my selections for the Euros before the tournament started. I have England winning the group, so I think they'll beat Croatia tomorrow. I do, but we'll see. We'll see. This is out for a Belgium throw-in. Here's Vertonghen. Two 2-0, Belgium on top. This is Tielemans. He gets tripped up. An obvious foul called and free kick to Belgium. This is the final game of the day. Third of 3 games in the Euros. Fair enough, Ben. Fair enough. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Sounds good, man. Down the left wing, here is Karavayev. 15 minutes remain. Belgium closing in on 3 points to start this Euro campaign of theirs. Belgium looking to make a deep run and, of course, the ultimate goal, winning it all, as their golden generation is aging by in front of our eyes, I should say, and the window is closing. Here is Mertens the other way. Out of play for a Belgium throw-in, I should say. And now it looks like a change will be made. Dedrick Boyata for Belgium has had a solid game at center back. He actually plays for Hertha Berlin in the Bundesliga. And Jan Vertonghen will be forced to come out. It'll be Thomas Vermaelen coming in. And Yannick Carrasco, meanwhile, will also be exiting. Dennis Prayet will be coming on. So those are the two changes made by Belgium. Out of play for a Belgium throw-in on the far side of the pitch. Back into the middle of the pitch. It's Vermaelen in possession. Look at this bit of skill from Eden Hazard. And now a heavy challenge. Belgium fans will be holding their breath anytime Hazard is taken out. Of course, he's dealt with injury after injury for the last couple of seasons now. Look at some statistics. The possession, 61 to 39% Belgium with the edge in that category. They also have the edge in total attempts, 8-4, and attempts on target at 3-1. Now here is Eden Hazard. Out wide. And it's saved by Dries Mertens. No. Just barely out of play. It was actually Torgan Hazard running it down. Excuse me. Mertens, of course, just came out of the game. Excuse me. Mario Fernandes will take the Russian throw-in. The capacity just announced. The attendance just announced, I should say. About 50% of capacity as expected. 26,000 fans inside St. Petersburg Stadium tonight to watch the home side Russia take on Belgium. It's not been the performance that the Russian faithful were hoping for. But it is great to have the fans back. That goes without saying. Great atmosphere for all of the Euro games so far. That'll continue to be the case in this tournament throughout all of Europe. Tielemans turns it over. This is now Karavayev. Back into the middle of the pitch. Here's Golovin. And foul there was number 25 for Russia, and that was, no, number 26 rather. That was Mukin. Quick restart. Russia running out of time with 10 minutes to play until second half stoppage time. Now here's Daviv. Losing possession was Russia. Lukaku in the middle of the pitch. Can Belgium get that insurance goal? Here's Prayet. Looks like the fans got the wave going on. The fans are back. You love to see it. Now it's Vermaelen. Back for Thibaut Courtois. This is off of Russia for a Belgium throw-in. "81 minutes in the books as Belgium look to see out the rest of this game. There's never really been the threat of Russia really coming back in this one. They just haven't been creating enough opportunities and testing Courtois enough. What a turn that is by Eden Hazard. Hazard goes down, advantage given to Belgium. Now moving it forward is Pryatt, out wide. The cross whipped in, headed away, out for a Belgium throw-in. Meunier quickly takes it. Now it's lost. Russia clear beyond midfield. But it's picked up now by Toby Alderweireld. Torgan Hazard to Vermaelen. Now Courtois. And fouled there was Mukin. Free kick to Russia. Yep, no doubt about it. "83rd minute now. Can Russia get on the board here? They trail by 2 in the late stages of the first game for both of these teams in Euro 2020. There's the cross. Headed out of danger by Belgium. Just for the moment, however. This is Golovin. Golovin whips one in. A little bit of an uncomfortable clearance, I should say, by Boyata. It went back over the end line for a Russia corner. Fourth of the match. Sent in by Russia. And now back out to the middle of the pitch with Karavayev. Karavayev to Shunin, the Russian keeper. Shunin well outside of his box. Will clip one forward. And a handball spotted by the official against Artem Zuba, the Russian captain. Yep. Correct decision, it appeared. 5 minutes and stoppage time remaining. UEFA Euro 2020 continues tomorrow in Group C at noon Eastern time. It'll be Austria taking on North Macedonia. Exciting day in store tomorrow on day 3 of the tournament. Looks like Russia just a bit frustrated as the referee shakes hands with the Russian coach Stanislav Cherchesov. As the situation is settled, a throw-in was awarded to Belgium. This is now Torgan Hazard up the line. Down went Pryatt. No foul called. Now back to recover for Belgium is Boyata. Alderweireld up the pitch for a Belgium throw. Here is Eden Hazard in some traffic. Gets out of it nicely. Return pass to Hazard. Here's Eden Hazard, who is wearing the captain's armband now since Jan Vertonghen came off. Now moved into the middle with Vermaelen. Out wide, it's Torgan Hazard. Entering the final minutes now of this one. It's Leander Dendoncker, who plays his club football for Wolves in the Premier League. And Russia just seemed fatigued at this point. No hope left, or maybe a little, but that's all. With 3 minutes now until stoppage time. Here's Dendoncker. '88th minute in St. Petersburg. Driving forward is Dendoncker, through ball. Lukaku's in, and Lukaku scores. It's his second of the game, and in the blink of an eye, Russia find themselves in a 3-0 hole. Belgium strike again, and it's Lukaku with a brace. Well, Lukaku's a goal-scoring force, isn't he? We saw it all season long in Serie A for Inter, and he can do just the same at the international level. Just a perfectly timed run by Romelu Lukaku. Another one-time finish, slipping that one by at the near post, and that will seal the victory for Belgium. 3 points to open up the tournament, just what Belgium were looking for coming into the night. And it's Romelu Lukaku with his second of the game. Roberto Martinez is pleased. I'm sure the entire nation of Belgium is as well. A third goal for Belgium, second for Lukaku. Things going well for the men in red. It's an 88th minute goal in the dying stages of this match. We await how much stoppage time there will be. This is now Anton Shunin. Russia will quickly have to look ahead to their final two group matches. After suffering defeat to Belgium in the opener, unless a miracle happens late. And this will be a foul against Boyata, right at the edge of the penalty area. Free kick to Russia. Can they grab a consolation goal late? It was Ajdoyev who went down. Thibaut Courtois sets up his wall. It is a promising chance from 20 meters out, right at the tippity edge of the penalty box. We enter second half stoppage time now. 2 minutes of additional time. Golovin standing over it. And so too is Miranchuk. And here's the strike over the wall and over the bar. That really sums up the night for Russia. It's been a frustrating evening in St. Petersburg for the hosts, who find themselves down 3-0, and that could very well be their last opportunity of the game with about a minute to play. Thanks everyone who's tuned in to the broadcast this evening. The few Belgian fans who are in attendance certainly enjoying themselves. Belgium with high expectations as usual. Can they deliver upon those expectations? That's the question. The team who will have to travel the most in this tournament out of all 24 teams. This is cleared away by Shunin out to midfield. 30 seconds to play. Now it's Boyata. Across the back, he'll find Vermeulen. The final whistle coming in a moment's notice now. What's going on, Felice? Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thanks so much for tuning in. And this game has gone final. It's Belgium with a 3-0 victory over Russia. It was never in doubt, was it? A 10th minute goal from Lukaku set the tone, and Belgium never looked back. Meunier would score the second goal, and Lukaku, after scoring the opener, seals the victory with the closing goal late on in the 88th minute. Russia really never showed up on the day. A dominant performance from Belgium in the end. They secure the 3 points in quite convincing fashion. 3-0 is the final in St. Petersburg, and Belgium get off to just the start they were looking for in UEFA Euro 2020 as the favorites in Group B. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast, as the moment of the match will be that opening goal from Romelu Lukaku. A nice composed finish on the one-time left-footed strike. That would make it 1-0. And also afterwards, in celebration, a nice gesture running straight to the camera and sending out well wishes to Christian Eriksen, who suffered a very serious, there was a very serious incident earlier where he collapsed on the field, Christian Eriksen, but he is in stable condition. Obviously, that was the big storyline of the day. Good to see him, to hear that he's in stable condition. Good gesture from Romelu Lukaku as well, as that will put a wrap on my broadcast. I hope you guys enjoyed, as Belgium defeat Russia 3-0 in the opening game for both of these teams in Group B. The home fans in St. Petersburg, do not get what they were looking for. Russia will have to bounce back in their next game as Belgium take care of business quite comfortably. And now salute their fans in celebration. And this was all done without their star man, Kevin De Bruyne, as well. So just the start, Roberto Martinez and Belgium wanted. There's no doubt about that. All right, well, I don't think I'll be able to broadcast any of tomorrow's Euro matches. I will be back Monday. I believe it's Spain-Sweden in action at 3 p.m. Eastern time on Monday. So I am planning to do that match. Much more Euro 2020 coverage is coming your way. I can guarantee that much. So I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been a nice start to the tournament. Obviously, we had the scary incident with Christian Eriksen collapsing, but at least there's good news regarding his status, as he is in stable condition. And what a dominant showing from Belgium tonight. A real impressive performance as they celebrate with their fans. Thibaut Courtois really never tested tonight. Complete domination in the end, and 3 points for Belgium with an advantageous goal difference as well to get their tournament started. So Euro 2020 will continue tomorrow with another triple header of matches. What a great day we should have tomorrow in the Euros. A lot of great ones to look forward to, with a great week ahead as well. And how about Romelu Lukaku? He put on one heck of a performance, scoring 2 goals in typical Lukaku fashion. and he's certainly proven that he can deliver when the lights are shining bright at the international stage in big tournaments like this. Lukaku certainly sending a message. There's no doubt about that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. 3-0 Belgium victorious over Russia. That does it for coverage of today's UEFA Euro 2020 action. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. Sleep tight and get ready for another big day.